What is going on, world? And happy Sunday to you, everyone out there. Want to thank you for tuning in to the 7th episode of the Sunday Spin, where myself, Austin Hess, from the Panama Good Times newspaper, come together with members of our community as we travel around the country to different expat towns where you, as a Northern American and or a European, are going to find a great deal of people like yourself that have come down to Panama, have moved their families here, have come to retire, and especially now that a lot of people are able to do their work over the internet, you're finding more and more people just coming down to Panama for a better lifestyle, more relaxed lifestyle, and of course, tons of outdoors. You know, Panama has over 500 islands throughout the country on both the Pacific side and the Atlantic side, with 4 archipelagos that are like completely different countries altogether. So there's tons of outdoors activities on the beaches and in the oceans. And then, of course, we have beautiful mountain towns like El Valle and Boquete that just have a serenity of beauty and nature and hiking and waterfalls. Guys, we're so excited to be going over to the beach towns today. Yes, that is between Chame and Buenaventura. You have areas such as Gorgona, Coronado, which is a very, very popular area, San Carlos, and many others. We're going to show you a map here in just a second, giving you an idea of where Panama is located, and then a short intro video where I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the highlights about living in the beach town area. Guys, we're going to have 4 guests today. We're very, very excited. Got our friend Charles Burrows here. He's going to come on with us first for an interview, and then we're going to talk to a few other folks. And at the end of the show, we're going to bring on Mike Vitovich, founder of Inside Panama, and he's going to show us some of the listings that are new on the market here and kind of give you an idea what to expect, you know, the different qualities of life, the views, of course, and the most important, the prices. The prices are unbelievable. You will just be amazed by the value you can get for the dollar down here. Speaking of dollars, we do use the US dollar down here in Panama. We do have amazing healthcare and, again, huge expat communities. Let's real quick, like I said, I want to show you guys a map because any of our friends out there that maybe don't know about Panama, haven't really considered Panama, this is a great opportunity for you to learn about Panama. And again, why others like yourself said, hey, you know what? I don't really like what's going on up north. Where's somewhere that I can have a more relaxed and better lifestyle? So let's check this out. I'm going to do a screen share real quick here. Jump onto Google Maps. Now, as you can see, we got Panama right here. Beautiful little Panama, incredible country. But yes, you know, what's so great about Panama, you can drive here from Panama City down here to the beach town. That's where we're going today, all the way down to Pedasí, which is another very popular area. You got Boca Chica over here, Santa Catalina, of course, Boquete, which is an amazing area, and then Bocas del Toro, which is another fantastic expat area. As you can see, up to the north here, up to the west, you have Costa Rica. There is a border on Costa Rica and Panama that you can cross. You know, there's a lot of people that drive down through the other countries from the United States and drive down here to Panama. You know, I hear that quite often. So if you're an adventurous type, you can drive from the United States down to Panama. There is a highway the entire way that you can do that. Now, of course, you have Colombia, south of Panama, or on the west or the east side. This border here, you cannot cross. There is no road. There is no real access unless you're, like I said last show, the Indiana Jones type, where you want to go backpacking in the true wilderness, and you're an adventurous type. That's the only way to really travel around the Darien of Panama. Now, we're going to zoom in here real quick. Guys, like I said, I'm here in Panama City today. It's about 90 minutes outside of the beach towns. This is what we call the beach towns. You know, there's a lot of beautiful areas, and we're actually going to check out a quick video while I talk about why people are so attracted to this area. Guys, enjoy this video and the beauty that is involved here in Panama. All right, so again, one of the big features about this area that we call the beach towns, which again is from Chame to Buenaventura, is the proximity to Panama City. It's only 90 minutes from Panama City. There's tons of shopping in this area. Now you have multiple grocery stores, you have big hardware stores, you have movie theaters. You have movie theaters that the movies are in English. And as you can see, the construction here is very first world, lots of beautiful finishings, lots of great amenities, beachfront, lots of pools. Golfing is a big, big thing in this area. There's 5 beautiful golf courses that are very challenging, difficult for golfers like me that aren't so good. So if you're into golfing and you like a challenge at golf, this is a great place to look at. Again, the expat community is one of the best parts about the beach towns area. You just have such an amazing expat community, tons of activities and groups. You have pickleball, tennis, golf, surfing, fishing. There's hiking teams even. And you know what? The Olympic drinking team actually lives here. I'm just kidding. But if you're into having a good time, the beach towns is definitely a good spot for you. You have tons of people that like to have fun, go out for happy hours, lots of community events going on all the time. And again, not only the proximity to Panama City, but you also have the proximity up to El Valle. It's about 45 minutes into the mountains, and there's just so much hiking and beautiful nature and birds and butterflies. I mean, it's just a treat to be able to get up there. And of course, as you can see, how can you beat the beautiful Pacific Ocean? Guys, that is the beach towns area. Let me exit this real quick and get you over here. And now, I just real quick before we jump on with Charles, I want to thank our sponsor, Inside Panama, one of the best companies. If you talk to all the people around in the community, Inside Panama has a great reputation for just really doing a great job, and not just being your real estate agent, but helping you transition into living in Panama, finding the right attorney to get your citizenship or your residency here in Panama. Guys, this is a company you definitely want to check out, and they're doing a cool program. It's called the Fly and Try. That's right. If you come down here to Panama and rent, and whether that's 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, now there are some things that apply to this, so definitely want to email them, but they're going to pay for your first month's rent if you end up buying a home through Inside Panama Real Estate. So this is a really neat program. For more details on that, it's really simple. Go ahead and email them at freeebook@ipreinfo.com. Again, that's freeebook@ipreinfo.com. And you can get all the information about their try and buy program. Guys, speaking of free ebook, they got a free ebook. It's like a $300 value. There's so many people out there in Panama that have created these awesome ebooks that they're selling. And Inside Panama created one of the best ones I've seen personally. It's full of amazing information. How do I move my cat down, my dog, medical, banking, all that stuff and more is in this free ebook. And it's yours today for free. All you got to do is email that same email address, freeebook@ipreinfo.com, and you can get your free ebook today. Guys, thank you so much again for joining us for another episode of the Sunday Spin. Got my first guest today, Charles Burrows, founder of Empire Consulting Global Wealth Management. Welcome to the show, Charles. How are you today?
I'm good, Austin. Thanks for having me on. How are you doing?
Oh, man, I am living the dream lockdown style, man. It's, of course, beautiful weather today. I just had a walk in the park, saw some amazing tropical birds. So, yeah, can't complain at all, man. I really appreciate you being here. And I got some good questions for you because I'm very interested. You and I just personally met this morning, and I want to know about what you do. But first, let's talk about you. Tell us about yourself and where you're from, and why did you choose Panama?
Okay, well, I'm 38 years old, married with 2 kids, 2 young girls, 8 and 15 years old. Originally from England. I moved to Brazil in 2002, so I was there for 18 years, living in one of the biggest cities in the world, working as an investment advisor, a global investment advisor. And for the last 3-4 years, I'd become pretty tired of the stress of the city and the pollution and the crime and the security issues. So I was looking for something a little bit different. I was looking for principally a better quality of life, not only for myself, but mainly for my kids, because I was sick of them living on iPhones and iPads, and everything was going in a car to the mall or to the cinema or even to the park. You had to get in the car and get in the traffic. So I've been curious and trying to convince my wife to move away to somewhere nicer. And Panama was definitely not on the radar for us at all at the time.
That's interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's in Brazil and also in the UK, people don't really know about Panama. It's completely not promoted at all. So I think what you're doing is fantastic, because I wish I'd have known about it many years ago. If I had, I'd have probably moved sooner. But we actually were planning to go to Mexico. So we went, checked out some places close to Cancun. We love the beachfront down there. We love the water down there. But at the end of the day, when you're buying in Latin America, you've always got a risk, a Latin American risk, the political risk, the foreign ownership risk, and then you've got certain crime issues and things like this. So I wasn't so comfortable with it. And when I was looking around, I don't know whether it was a Google algorithm or something like that, it started to pop up some properties in Panama. And I could not believe the quality of what I was seeing for the prices that I was seeing. So I thought there must have been a catch. I thought there was something up with that. So we had to come and check it out.
Well, and I like that you said that, because I think that's something that really important to point out. There's so many foreign countries, whether it's in South or Central America or in Asia, where you find that you don't have the opportunity of actually owning the land. And that's something down here in Panama. That land is titled. It doesn't matter if you're a Panamanian citizen, or you are a resident, or you are a foreign investor that, you're just looking to diversify your investment. Once you own a title in Panama, you own that title, whether it's you or your corporation. So that is a really important thing to talk about in Panama, because you don't find that in a lot of other places around the world. I'm glad you brought that up. Now, I am interested, like I said, talk to me about wealth management. So tell us, what is Empire Consulting and what do you do?
Okay, well, Empire Consulting, Empire stands for Efficient Management of Portfolios, Investment and Real Estate. And our focus is really on helping our clients to build their empire and leave a legacy for their kids and for their family afterwards. So we do what we call like the total global wealth management package. But for many years of working in banks and financial advisory firms, I wanted to do something different. Typically, when you work with a bank or you work with a financial advisor, they have a lot of behind-the-scenes incentives to sell their financial products. And all of those financial incentives are built within the products, which end up taking away from your end results. So what we wanted to do is have a concept whereby, first of all, we could work with pretty much any client anywhere in the world, where they wouldn't have any risk of us. So they'd never put their money with us. They just take the benefit of our experience and what we can do in the marketplace for them. But essentially, our clients will keep their money in their banks under their full control, but they get the benefit of our knowledge in the market. And what we essentially do is something called wealth optimization. So we'll take a look at what the client's goals are over the next 5, 10, 15 years for whatever it may be, for retirement, for kids' education, for legacy and estate planning. And then we look to do what we call wealth optimization. So it's really just taking a diagnosis of what they've got today and how could they eliminate these fees and these costs and these commissions that they might not even realize that are built in within the products. And generally, we can get a return for our clients about 4 or 5% a year more with exactly the same profile that they've got at the moment. Exact same portfolio, but getting a much better yield by eliminating all the kind of commissions and fees that are built into these kind of products. And then we can also offer them alternatives that might be performing a little bit better. We actually design our own investment products directly with the world's biggest banks. So we have our own digital platform, which is plugged into JP Morgan, Merrill Lynch, Royal Bank of Canada. And our clients get to see really when you price up an investment product, the real pricing before it goes through all of the, the distribution channels and has all the fees built into it. So we can generally deliver a much higher level of efficiency for our clients and get them essentially earning a lot more money on their portfolios without taking extra risk.
Sounds like a little bit like it's a lot more personable too, which is a win-win for anyone looking to diversify investment. Now, you spoke about your clients. Are your typical clients here in Panama? Are they around the world? Are they in North America? Talk to us about your typical client that you have.
So, I mean, it's very, very varied. I have young couples that are looking to save for their kids' futures and really just starting to become wealthy and wanting to understand what options they've got outside of their banks. The majority of my clients are probably senior level executives that are close to retiring or have just retired. But we have clients all over the world. We have clients in China, in Europe, in the US, in Canada, all over the world. So I've actually only just started. I came here a year and a half ago. I've only just started taking on clients locally in Panama. But one thing right now, on this subject, is a real big problem. Following on from coronavirus and the reduction of interest rates, a lot of retirees and low-risk investors are kind of stuck for how to find any kind of yield because interest rates are so low. But at the same time, the stock market is massively overvalued considering the real health of the global marketplace. So you're kind of in a really bad position. You either take really low returns or you have to take risk to try and get some kind of yield. And there's a lot of people that are retiring or that have retired and they need a monthly income or they need a regular cash income and they're being forced to take pretty big risks to get that. So some of the stuff that we do is to help those kind of people to ensure they can get 8-9% every year, even if this market drops 40-50% from where it is today. So it's kind of a middle ground from the fixed income market and the stock market. So they can basically, what we call them sleep easy investments. So people can just, they don't have to worry about the volatility of the market, what's going on with interest rates. They can pretty much get guaranteed yields on their investments.
Gosh, man, I love it. I'm in. You sold me. Manage my wealth for me. I love it. And that's great. And what you just said is so important because we are going through a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. And, people are really looking at the alternative. And, that's the whole point of this show is to, allow people to see Panama and allow people to see that there are others that are doing it and are doing it not only successfully, but they're doing it with a better lifestyle. You live down here with your kids. I came down here almost 9 years ago. I got married to a Panamanian girl. I have a family. A lot of people that have kids down here talk about that. Back when we were able to ride our bikes around and do all that stuff outdoors and not have to always worry about your child, the things we're not seeing back home in your case in Europe or in my case in the US, where down here in Panama, you can really get those values, especially in towns like the beach towns, certain little, there's lots of little beach towns in between Chame and Buenaventura that, once you get into that community, you just really feel that safety and that relaxation. So super cool. I love that. Now tell me about this. Okay. So you got a lot of your clients are outside of Panama. You're starting to get more here. How has the move to Panama changed your business and how you work with your clients?
Well, that was one of the big things. I mean, when we came here, I was kind of worried about how it would impact my business. Historically, when I was working in the city, most of my business was done meeting people face to face. And I was worried about that. I was willing to take a reduction in revenue for the exchange of the things that you said, the quality of life, which I'd like to touch on a little bit in a moment as well and just explain the experiences that I've had that have been absolutely fantastic down here. But I was a little bit worried about that. I was worried about the infrastructure of not having good quality internet and maybe doing conference calls and calls dropping and things like that. But I was really surprised. I mean, when we came over here, we came to visit for 7 days. And the idea was to check out the schools, check out the locations. And the initial idea was to stay close to the city because we were worried about the quality of the infrastructure further away. So even though we didn't necessarily want to live in the city, we thought we'll go for the kind of suburban areas in Panama City. And that was the plan. We got here, we met with Mike Vitovich, the founder of Inside Panama. I'd never met him before, and he suggested that I check out the beach areas. We did, we took his advice, we came out here, I'm in Coronado, and I was just amazed with the infrastructure that you had here. The fiber optic internet allows me to do my work. You've got all kinds of hardware stores, pharmacies, huge supermarkets. You've got everything you could possibly need. And then anything else that if you're missing, I don't know, a bit of nightlife or something, it's 50 minutes drive into the city. The hotels are super cheap. The quality of everything is really, really good. So it was a real shock to me that I could actually have this lifestyle and still be, 100% online and have the full infrastructure that I needed. But what it gave to us as a family was so much more. I mean, me and my wife, we kind of pinch ourselves sometimes, right? So, my kid, like you said, my kids, they get to ride their bikes. They went out the other day. They didn't come back for like 2 or 3 hours. I wasn't worried at all. I didn't have to go looking for them. They're off climbing trees or riding around the golf course, going surfing. They have a great time, and they're actually getting childhood back, which before it was, it was just bombarded with technology, iPads and things like this. So what it's done for us as a family has been absolutely fantastic. Our quality of life has been great. But one of the things I think is worth maybe talking about for viewers that might be considering coming down here, some of the concerns I had was like, okay, well, when I got here, I met Mike. Mike was fantastic. I mean, he's a guru of everything Panama. He can tell you about every single region. So he helped us feel really comfortable. He helped us really find a property that really met our needs. And I couldn't believe, I mean, the prices down here, you will not find anything in the region. You go from Miami to Colombia for these kind of prices in a place that's so secure and has such good infrastructure and such good quality. So I was shocked by the prices. They're already dirt cheap. We offered an even lower price and we got accepted. So we've been here for about 5 or 6 days and we got accepted. And I said to my wife, do you want to do this or not? And so we took the leap. But then the next stage of fear was, okay, well, now I'm going to send money, quite a lot of money, across the seas to Panama. I started to get a little bit nervous about that. So Mike introduced us to his personal lawyer. And I was amazed. I mean, I've lived in Latin America for 18 years. And you always encounter problems, bureaucracy and stuff like this. I'm telling you, it was the easiest process I ever had. I met with a lawyer. I sent the money into her account. She paid off the mortgage fees and everything, got the contract set up, sorted out our visas. And then a couple of months later, we were flying over the dogs. I couldn't believe how smooth and how easy it was. I mean, we still can't really believe it today. But now all of our family and our friends are looking at us with envy, and they all want to come over and do the same thing.
Oh, I bet. You hear that a lot. I get it from my parents, friends, like, hey, wait, you live in Panama? How do I do that? Especially, in today's days and age where you're seeing a lot of unrest up in the U.S. And I don't know how things are in Europe, but I can imagine, things are going a little bit similar. One thing also I wanted to ask you, as a global investment advisor, how do you see investment here in Panama?
Well, that's a good question, Austin. When I came here, I mean, automatically, when you can buy property that is cheaper buying a fully constructed house than to build it yourself, that you're probably getting in at the bottom of the market there. I think Panama had a few issues whereby they kind of fell off the map a little bit in terms of their economic growth, which happens all around Latin America as a whole. But they've seemed to have some political reforms, and they're turning the corner. They've got the mine, which is absolutely booming, obviously the expansion of the canals. So I looked at it. Obviously, anything I do when I'm going to put money anywhere, for me, it's from an investment point of view. And when I looked at Panama, I saw this as being a great investment opportunity. But I think that's been accelerated even more with COVID-19, because what you've got now is people realizing that, well, companies not really wanting their employees to go to work. So there's going to be a lot more digital nomads that are going to realize, well, if I'm working in New York, if I'm working in London, what's the point of me moving to the suburbs when I could maybe move to, something like this, where we've got, like you say, the golf courses, the beaches, the quality of life that we have. So I think that people are going to wake up to that fact more and more. And the places that are really going to grow are these kind of opportunities where you've already got the infrastructure, where you've got a fantastic community of people, where you've got the security, principally the security, because there's many places in the world that are beautiful, but you've got the crime issues. So I think that what you're probably going to find is that over the next 2, 3, 4 years, that these prices are going to really start to move up, principally even more so outside of the city. So I think, for people that are considering, if I was giving them financial advice right now, as I'm saying to my clients, I'm saying you want to be trying to get yourself on the Panama ladder, because these prices could go up significantly. It's crazy. In like 4 or 5 years.
Of course, yeah, and a couple governments ago, Panama was really booming, and then some people say that there was a mismanagement in the marketing. How can you go somewhere that you just don't know? So it's impossible. And now, we see, and especially at the beginning of this new government that we just started, it's a five-year government. you started to see a little bit more activity. And then, of course, COVID came in and slowed the whole world down for us. And which has been, a lot of people are, it's not the ideal situation. But if I was going to be stuck in COVID, I am so happy to be in Panama. I feel safe. I can go, I'm right here in a beautiful neighborhood. I have the park, I do envy all my friends that are living either in Bocas del Toro and Boquete, or you out in Coronado, just being able to look at the beach or look at the ocean and have a little bit more outdoorsman. But of course, my wife works in the city, so it is ideal for us to be here. And we do have parks, and we have 5 days ago, I had 9 toucans in my tree, what the heck? That's amazing. And then I think it was yesterday or Friday, we had an armadillo around 3:00 in the afternoon. I was out on the phone and I ran in and got my son and said, you gotta come check this out. An armadillo walking through the park. So you have so much wildlife, and it's a beautiful place, Before we let you go today, and I really appreciate you coming on, I definitely want to give our viewers the opportunity to reach out to you. So if someone wanted to learn more about you or see more about working with you and your company, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, I think what we do, Austin, is we don't charge for any kind of initial consultations. I'm happy to share my advice with anyone, even if they have no intention of investing. I'm just happy to help people as much as I can. So at any point, if anyone would like to reach out, if they go to our website, we've got actually an arrange a meeting button where you can fill out your own time slot. And you've also got all the phone numbers, the regional phone numbers to contact us. The Panama number will be directly to myself, and the other numbers will go to my team as well. But can I share my screen, or can I put it on the chat? What's the best thing? Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I'll give you I'll put the website link on the chat here.
Oh, maybe not in the chat, but in the comments, and maybe you have to do that afterwards. Maybe just read it out to people, and I'll put it in the comments after the show as well.
Does the share screen work? Will it appear?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Share screen. So this is it's Empire-. Can you see that? Okay.
Yep, we got it there.
So it's empire-consulting.net, and on the home page, when it loads, you will get a button that appears here to arrange a call or a face-to-face meeting, and then we'll call you directly, or we can arrange a Zoom conference directly from there. There's also some more information about what we do, some brochures and things like this, and some testimonies of clients. So if you want to find out more, feel free to go there, and we'd be happy to give anyone anytime if they're curious, just to find out what we can do for them.
Awesome. Well, again, Charles, really great to have you on the show. Appreciate you taking time out of your beautiful Sunday, and hopefully we'll be cracking a beer and hitting the sticks out on the golf course here before long.
They're waiting for me. I'm off to the golf course. I've got my Heinekens in my beer fridge down at the bottom.
Oh.
I'm ready to.
I love it, brother. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, great. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Awesome. And next, we're going to have Paula coming on. Let me click her in here. Paula Berrios, how are you? And good afternoon.
Doing good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. And now you are happily retired and very new to Panama. Is that right?
Yes. I arrived in Panama City on February the 25th. I'm a newbie here.
Wow. Well, welcome to Panama. I'm so excited for you. I remember when I first got to Panama and just the feeling of I don't know, it was just like the pressure. It was just amazing feeling coming into the country. And good news is it stays like that. It's a really comfortable country to live in.
Yes. When I landed, that's how I felt. When I hit the ground and got off the airplane, I just felt so much peace. I said, I'm home. This is my new country. I lived in Kuwait for 14 years. That's where I came from to here. Actually, I went to the United States to visit with my family for 2 months before I came over here. But I've done research for 2 years where I was going to retire. A lot of people say, why would you choose Panama? Why wouldn't I choose Panama? You're not here. We're on lockdown, and I still see the mountains. I still see the water. I still see the golf course. I see all the greenery, and that I did not have in Kuwait. No greenery. When you took an animal out, he didn't go on the grass. He went on the dirt. So I have
Better
a lot
life
of good
for the animal for sure.
I've only been here since February, and on, I think it was March 15th, 13th or 15th, we went on lockdown, but I had already been roaming Panama for like 2 weeks, and I had learned the area, all over, and I felt very comfortable here. The people, the Panamanians are so gracious. I mean, and they're willing to help you with anything. You may not know the language fluently, but they're just awesome people.
Yeah, very, very amazing people.
And I've traveled around the world, so I've dealt with different people.
Yeah, I know. I feel you, and we won't speak of other countries, but you definitely feel that really welcoming touch from the Panamanian people and also the expat community. We have so many expats already living down here in Panama, and everyone is always so helpful to get the newbies out in the community, involved with activities and groups and gatherings. It's really a really neat community, both the local Panamanians and the expats. Now, I wanted to ask you, I know that I met you this morning. We had a quick conversation. You mentioned that you were looking at quite a few other places in Panama. Tell me, when you were doing your research, were you looking at the Coronado area, or what areas were of interest to you when you first were looking at Panama?
When I began researching, I started research 2 years before I retired as to where I was going to go. And, I have a very supporting family. My adult children are old and have their own families. So, I'm like, where am I going? And they were all for this because, I've lived the military spouse life for 24 years. I was a contractor for 14 years. I've lived all over the world, traveled all over the world. And when I start my research, I said, now, where am I going to be happy? I'm going to be close enough. If I need to get to the United States, I need to keep all of this in mind in case I have an emergency. I need to get to the United States because I have no desire to live in the United States, but I will visit,
Yeah, you have family. We all have family up there, and it's great,
But they would prefer coming here.
That's how my parents are.
They were on their way when the lockdown started. But anyhow, I was actually looking at David and Boquete.
Okay.
I wanted to find a place where the temperature was going to remain the same year round, basically, and I enjoy the rainy season, of course. And I'd been told Boquete, living in the mountains, would be cooler. I was told that David was too humid. So how it happened, I ended up in Coronado was only a blessing from God. I never looked at Coronado. Wasn't even thinking about Coronado. I did want to live near the border, but I never even gave thought to it. That wasn't even on my list. My plan was we were going to travel around Panama and stay like 3 or 4 days at each place that I had on my list and then decide from there where I was going to stay. But it so happened that I already had a place when I got here because this dropped out of the sky for me. I was on the Expats site and I saw the condo building. And I said, oh, my goodness, that is my new home. I'm going to contact these people now. I did that. We got the ball rolling. And that was like the end of January. And I flew out in February. I already had a place. I just landed in Panama because I was actually going to start my visa paperwork there. So I thought, and got there. And then they said I needed another paper. But now I'm here and I'm have all my paperwork. I had it to begin with, and I was just given the wrong information. And so all of that is being taken care of now, thank God, even though with the COVID-19 happening, they're still taking care of things. It just may be a slower process.
Just a little, but it's still pretty quick,
Taken care of, and I'm thinking, thanking God for that because I'm going to be a resident here, a permanent resident here. I have no plans to leave, just like you. I came here and, my Panamanian friends laugh at me because they say, you already decided you're going to live here for good? Yes, I decided that before I ever got here.
Well, I had that feeling, I'm a really universal guy, and I had that feeling, and I thought, you're just crazy. Yeah. But then you get here and you're like, oh my goodness, I was speaking with the gentleman before, that over 500 islands, thousands of birds. I would consider myself a bird watcher. You never want to put yourself in that category, but I love the birds. The birds are magical. We have birds all over the place, and they're gorgeous, and they're different colors. And, where you're at right now, I love that area. I have lots of friends out there. I just very, very much enjoy that area. And the proximity to the city, it's just so close. If you ever needed more, or you wanted to get back to the US, it's very easy. You can drive into the city. Takes you about an hour and a half, depends on your driving style and the traffic. But it's just really accessible. And then, of course, out there you have all your amenities, all the groups, all the shopping that you could desire. You want to go to the movie theaters, the movies are in English, and it's just it is nice. It really is. And I welcome you to Panama, and I'm so happy to hear, like most people that come here, not everyone, but most people that come here have that same feeling. It's like, let's try it out. And then you get here and you're like, I'm not going anywhere else. This is it. This is awesome.
This was my plan before I got here. I saw everything. I already knew this was where I was going to stay, unless something, drastic happened and I would leave. But I had no intent of ever leaving. And a friend came down with me because my son couldn't come down at the time. She came, and she's looking to retire here in a few years. She's a real estate agent. She talked to the real estate agents here, and was asking questions how she could do this, and she's even looking. I've had plenty of people contact me since I've left Kuwait about how is it over there, whatever, many questions. I said, I love it over here. Actually, I don't think I would be as happy if I didn't have the views that I have being on lockdown. That has helped me mentally a lot.
Well, and it's so pretty. We saw that video at the beginning of the show, and it's like, that's what you see. Like, that's real life. It's probably prettier in person.
It is. And after 14 years of not really seeing a whole lot of trees and grass, that was my first thing on my wish list. I need to live where there's greenery.
Of course. And there's so many rolling hills. And, if you're up high in a condo building there, you got the ocean on one side, you got the rolling hills.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely incredible. So and I really appreciate you coming on, and I want to thank you and welcome you to Panama. But I want to ask you another question, because you are a newbie. You just did all this research. it's fresh in your mind. Tell me, what were some of the things that, before getting into Panama, what were some of the things that you, when you were doing your comparisons, your pros and cons for other areas, that you said, wow, Panama, I'm going to Panama? What were some of those things that really attracted to you?
Well, I was looking at the safety, and I knew when I saw the condo building, I did research on it, and I knew that it was a safe place for me to live. I'm here by myself at this time, and I needed to, be safe.
And feel safe, and feel comfortable.
Yes, and I go to sleep at night. I have no worries whatsoever. I know I'm safe. And, people heard stories before I got here. In fact, I had a lady contact me and say, please think of somewhere else going. My manager, which was Panamanian, told her that I should not come to Panama. And I said, where did he live? And where did he hear this from? I said, I've heard of stories, but that happens all over. So where I'm going is not like that. Okay. And, I made her feel safe about that, but I'm not going to come anywhere where I don't know that it's not safe.
Of course.
I feel very safe here. It's well protected here. I didn't choose to go somewhere there wasn't safety. Also, number two was I wanted to live somewhere where I could see the water and the mountains, all the time. And I wanted something of convenience where I wouldn't have to drive forever unless I chose to do that on a day trip, like going into the city. And it's very convenient where I live to go into town. Very, very convenient. I mean, everything's right there. You don't have to drive that far. And, the only thing I could probably say that I'm missing here, and I'm not supposed to be eating it, is fried catfish. But I love fried catfish. I'm not supposed to be eating fried food. But they have the bass and it's delicious. So you just adapt, because I've gone other places I've had to adapt, so I'm going to do that here.
Well, let me give you a little piece of advice, because I never ate fried fish. Back before Panama, I didn't eat a lot of seafood altogether. And, one of the best fried fishes here is the red pargo. Oh, my goodness. Get yourself a red pargo fried, full fish, authentic Panamanian dinner or lunch. And,
that's what I'm waiting to be able to go out and get. I haven't been able to experience too much of that, because you can walk where I am to a restaurant and it's not that far from me, but I didn't get to experience any of the Panamanian food, really. I mean, I have Spanish.
It's coming back soon.
So we ate the plantains and things like that, but I want to get the real Panamanian food.
Of course. And obviously unfortunate situation COVID-19 has been around the world, but I think you're going to see things get right back to normal here very quickly. They've done a really good job here in Panama on helping contain it and just, keeping everyone safe. It's very important, the safety here in Panama. Panama is very, very big on safety, not only for the expat communities, but also for the local Panamanians. And you know what? I've been here almost 9 years. I've never felt more safe in my entire life. I've lived around the United States, from the East Coast to the West Coast. I've been everywhere. And again, I've never felt so much safer in my entire life. And it's really, that little thing goes so far. You don't think about it until you're in it. And it's like, wow, gosh, that's a big weight off my back. Just feeling that calmness. And it's just, it's a great thing. So anyone out there that loves safety and just feeling comfortable, Panama is definitely a smart place for you to look. Paula, I really appreciate you coming on. I'm about to have Mike Vitovich, the founder of Inside Panama, on. And
I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much. And now that I know you're in Panama City, when I come there, I'll let you know I'm in the city.
Well, and I come out there quite often, and I love restaurants, and I always frequent them. So, and again, once we come out of lockdown, you're going to see there's all types of cool community events, lots of happy hours, and a lot of the expat community just really likes to get together and have a good time. It's what we do here in Panama.
I did get that for like 2 weeks. With places here around Coronado, I did notice that the expats did the gatherings a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah, and there's so much more of that to come. Again, thank you so much. I hope I get to see you in person when I make it out to the beach towns here in the near future.
Okay. It was
Thanks,
good
Paula.
chatting with you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. And now I would like to welcome Mr. Michael Vitovich, a.k.a. Mike,
Hi, Austin.
with Inside Panama Real Estate. Michael, how are you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Good. So great to see you again. Happy to be
Did
here.
you play some golf today?
No golf on Saturday and Sunday. Only Monday through.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about that in just a second, because I know a lot of people out there watching are into golf and being outdoors. I was actually just watching a couple news things earlier today, and Matthew McConaughey was interviewing Dr. Fauci, and he was saying, and this was like in the last couple of days, get outside, be in the sun, and like that's one thing Panama has. We have so much outdoor activity and so much nature and so much beauty that definitely a great place to get some sunshine, right?
Absolutely.
So talk to us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you came to live in Panama.
Well, I'm originally from Boston, but I moved to the West Coast when I was around 21 years old. And so I came here from San Diego. Actually came here retired, Austin, as you know. But once I got here, I saw the opportunity to do what I'd been doing for 25 years. And
you got the itch.
Yeah, I got the itch.
Yeah.
So Martha and I,
when you want to help people, and you're good at that. And, I know a lot of people appreciate you. So that's awesome.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I was bored. I like working, and I like being involved in doing things, But when I got here, that wasn't the plan. My plan was to buy a golf course and play golf, and now I'm hardly retired.
Well, that's awesome. It seems like you enjoy it. Now, speaking of golf, because again, you are an avid golfer. You're out golfing all the time throughout the whole year, whether it's here or over there in the beach towns or up in Boquete, which is another beautiful area of Panama. Tell us a little bit about golfing in Panama.
Well, there are plenty of options. Here at the beach community, we've got 5 golf courses. From a Jack Nicklaus golf course, I live on a Tom Fazio golf course, Michael Vitovich up in Boquete. So there's definitely some great courses. The weather is, perfect for playing golf. Even in the wet season, I really can't say we lose a lot of days to golf because usually we get out and play in the morning and rain comes in the afternoon. I recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned the rain because I don't know if anyone out there knows, but I'm from Portland, Oregon myself. When anyone ever tells me rain, I'm like, no rain, no rain. But that's because I grew up in rain that was very cold, not cold enough to snow, where you get the beautiful white snow, but it was still cold. It wasn't enjoyable. It was miserable. You get your shoes wet, your socks are cold, your feet feel like they're breaking. Down here in Panama, when it rains, it is so romantic. It's gorgeous. It's relaxing. And typically, like Mike said, it doesn't rain the whole day. You're going to get your spouts of rain. And depending on where you're at in the country, 10 minutes, 2 hours, it depends on the region. But, you get those big tropical rains. And then, by happy hour, it's clear weather again. It's just perfect.
To me, it amazes me. I got up the other morning and it was raining pretty hard. And it had been for a while. And by the time I got up and did exercises and ate and so forth, it had stopped raining and the sun was coming out. Out on the golf course, you would have never known that it rained. The earth just sucks it up so fast that it's amazing. It never ceases to amaze me.
The rainforest, the good old rainforest down in Central America, Panama. Awesome, my brother. Well, I appreciate you coming on, but I know a lot of people are excited to start seeing what we got to show them for some listings today. So should we jump in and show people some listings?
Sure. We've got three listings to do today. So let's do this.
Awesome. I'm going to do a screen share. I'm going to pull those photos up. Mike, go ahead and walk them through these photos. I'm going to give you the floor, my friend.
Okay, thanks.
And there we go. All right. This property, the first one, as you can see, it's beachfront. It's a one-bedroom studio. It's in the Coronado Bay Tower. It comes furnished just like you see it. It's about the size of 1.5 hotel rooms. It's 505 square feet, in fact. You have access to all of the amenities in the building. There's 2 fabulous social areas, one on the roof, which is really great for sunsets and cocktail happy hours. And then there's one down at the ground level with direct beach access. These make fabulous rentals. They're highly sought after, and they rent all the time if you wanted to have an investment. Does have a washer and a dryer and a little kitchenette. The sales price for this, the asking price for this unit is $159,000. Wow.
Yeah, it's a great deal. And the monthly maintenance homeowner fee is only $97. So
and look at that view. I mean, palm trees, swimming pool, ocean.
Yeah. It's beachfront. This property is beachfront. So
God, that's gorgeous.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so that's property number 1, and let's get into property number 2 here. Also beachfront.
This is also beachfront. This is in Gorgona. It's 10 minutes away, barely. Also oceanfront condominium. This one's 1,064 square feet. Comes with 2 parking spots. Comes furnished. The monthly maintenance fee for this unit is $202. It's 2 bedrooms. It's 2 baths. The asking price, $235,000. Beachfront.
Awesome. And then tell us about the social area here. Do they got social area too and all that?
Yes, they do. They have a very nice social area. All the new towers, especially the ones on the beach, lend themselves to great social areas. So it's not just the ocean. There's a pool and all that as well.
Look at that view from your bed. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I could wake up to that every day.
Yeah, so could I.
Wow. Very well. Very nice.
Yeah,
Nice
this
rooms.
one's well done. It's well put together.
And this is a 2-bedroom, you said?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So 2-bedroom, beautiful views, swimming pool, ocean, sand, palm trees.
Two spots too. The parking spots have value because they don't build as many parking spots as they have units. So
Of course.
there's value to those units, to those lots, parking spots.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah,
Gorgeous,
it's really,
gorgeous.
There's the pool. It's kiddie area.
So yeah, if you got kids, this is a great building as well. Down on the ground floor, you got a kiddie pool, and looks like you got some nice little what do you call that? A swing set or a monkey bar and slides.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I think this is the last photo of property 2. Ready to take it into property 3 here with a beautiful home.
This is a home directly on the golf course. It's on the 13th hole, in fact. It's a great, tight little house. It's 3 bedrooms. It's 3 baths, 2,123 square feet. Has a covered deck, as you can see. Has a swimming pool. The lot is 1,200 meters, so that's a little over a quarter of an acre. Comes furnished. Was built in 2012, so it still has quite a bit of 14 years worth of tax exemption, so it's no property tax.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah. And
so no property tax on this house for 14 more years?
Right.
Gotta love that, huh?
Yeah, like I say, right on the golf course. If you wanted to join the club, it's $300 a month, unlimited access to golf, tennis, the spa, the gym, the beach club. It's a great deal. It's a very
so yeah,
great
if
deal.
you're into laying in hammocks, swimming in the pool, playing some golf, living the Jimmy Buffett lifestyle, this might be for you.
Yeah, the asking price for this house, Austin, is $349,000.
God, look at that backyard. And that's the golf course right there, huh? Beyond the fence?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Outdoor shower.
Yeah.
All kinds of extra little goodies. Well, that's awesome. Beautiful properties.
It's next to the tee box, so unlikely somebody's going to hit a golf ball in your yard. So that's a good thing. I've been known to hit them.
That always helps. Awesome. Well, that was really awesome. Guys, remember, Mike Vitovich, Inside Panama Real Estate. These are our sponsors today. If you're interested in Panama, they got a free ebook. It's over a $300 value. Many other companies are out there selling their ebooks. Inside Panama has one of the best ebooks I've ever seen, and they're giving it to you today for free. All you have to do is simply email them, free ebook at ipreinfo.com. And don't forget about the Fly and Try program. If you come down to Panama and you rent, whether it's for a month, 3 months, 6 months, they are going to pay your first month's rent if you end up buying a home through Inside Panama Real Estate. This is a really cool program. For more details on that, again, email them at freeebook@ipreinfo.com. Guys, it's been a beautiful day, but I think it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's not here yet in Panama, but it feels like it. So have a beautiful day. We're going to catch you next weekend. As you know, every Sunday, the Sunday Spin coming to you live from Panama in the Republic of Panama down here in Central America. Thank you again, Mr. Michael Vitovich.
Thanks, Austin.
Beautiful Sunday. And guys, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate all the love and support. Hit that like button, hit that love button, share, follow, and spread the good word of Panama. Guys, we'll see you again next weekend. Until then, ciao.
See ya.